gonna say. You're
He was,
testing my patience, weren't you?
he was saying nothing. I was all laid over my chair. He fusses at me all the time, folks, about the fact that I'm not centered in the frame because apparently it makes his job very difficult editing these podcasts or vlogs or whatever you call them. But welcome to another interesting
Yeah.
pocket change.
Woo! Hey, welcome back. It's episode 81. We've made it to 81. I'm excited. We're getting up there. Syndication back in the day, you had to go 5 years, so you had over 100 episodes. Then they'd syndicate you forever. You make money. We haven't made a dime yet, and we're almost to 100. It's a little different in the podcast game, um, but we're here just because we like it. It's fun. It's something to do. It gets us out of the house or in the house.
Out of the house, yeah, yeah. I'd like to be out of the house doing. I wonder how this would work if we were out of the house, considering that it won't have work on phones.
Yeah, we'd have to do a different.
Platform, ladies and gentlemen. But we're glad you're here with us either when you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple iTunes, or here on YouTube watching us. We're glad you're with us either this morning, at your lunch break, in the afternoon, in the evening, or after hours. Either way, if you're watching us after hours, then woohoo. But we're glad you are listening to us and watching us, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can get told 4 times a day when CJ Benz finds posts on YouTube. But anyway, go check out Thrifty Treasures. I've been watching some of them here lately, and it's good information. Of course, I want to plug our Pick or Pass because we did episode 80, which was Pocket Change Pick or Pass. What was it, 20, Benz?
What?
Was that what it was?
21?
21. 20, that's
21.
right. 21 episodes of things to either look for or pass up when you're out there sourcing. So go check those out. But of course, this is our long format where we're going to talk about our week. We're going to talk about some things we've learned, some things that have happened to us, and of course, some eBay news and our new fan favorite, our eBay buyer of the week,
Yes.
keeping it very light and positive for you guys and for eBay buyers to look out for that are excellent buyers to deal with. So, what section we're going to kick off with here? We usually start with what we've sold for the week
Yeah, so why don't you go
and that
first?
kind of thing. All right, I'll do that. So I did have quite a few sales for the week at the beginning of the week. Everything started off great. I was on track to probably do another little over $100 for the week, but it quickly died going moving into Thursday. And we'll talk about why
Yeah.
that happened a little later in the program. So I ended up right around, and I closed out 2 sales earlier today. Benz and I have decided we run our stuff Monday, basically Sunday after because we usually record these on Sunday for you guys. So we usually run it from Sunday after the podcast until Saturday evening. And so I ended up doing about $85 in business this week, which is, I know that sounds terrible to some of you guys. That's great for me, especially still doing it part time and still working towards my goal and my store model. So did that, had a great, sold a couple. It's interesting. Our two mottos, everything sells eventually. And our other one that I've come up with, you only sell what you list, which everybody goes, oh, that's crazy. Of course you only sell what you list. But what I've been saying the whole time since I coined that phrase is whatever you are listing, those categories is what eBay is going to push forward for you. So if you've got categories that give you the most profit, those are the categories you want to make sure you're listing in every day because those are the categories that eBay is going to push for you through the algorithms. And I've tested it many times. I tested this past week by making sure that I was mixing in quite a few of the ladies' clothes that I still have and stuff like that. And it's interesting. I ended up seeing my sales pick back up in the ladies' clothes market and die down in some of the other categories that I wasn't listing as much in. So that's again proving that. So I did sell a couple ladies' clothing items. And of course, I sold in some of my other categories, but predominantly in the ladies' clothes category, which is crazy. But there again, the categories that you list in are the ones you're going to sell a whole lot of. So if you know where you got your big profit margin, that's where you want to push to. So that being said, and again, me only being a part-time reseller, and we're going to kick it over here to my buddy Benz, who is a quote unquote forced full time reseller, and see how his week was and how it went, and if he sold. Because I noticed, I keep up with Benz's items. I
Yeah.
noticed he did a lot of Hot Wheels in the package. They're actually in the package, ladies and gentlemen, and some of them are awesome. I looked up some of them he's got. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you need to go check out his Hot Wheels on CJ Benz Finds if that's something you collect, because I noticed some of them that he has listed, he is about 15 to 20% under the actual value of them. So that's a great way to get something if you're looking at, but I know he's got a lot of them, so he's probably willing to do that. But go check him out. But I'm curious to know if he sold a lot of Hot Wheels, or if Hot Wheels will become a hot selling item this week for him.
Yeah. So this week I had good sales. I sold 43 things.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot for me. No, excuse me, 46 things, 43 different buyers. So 46 items. Of that, 12 were Hot Wheels. So you do sell what you post. The issue I had this week is a lot of them were lower dollar items. I had about 350 Hot Wheels that I had bought a collection off of somebody off of Facebook Marketplace like a long time ago, and I found them in the garage. So I figured I'd just go ahead and list them, get them out of the way because I'm working my way back in the storage unit. And they sold very well. Some of the ones some of them sold too quickly, so I know I underpriced them.
Mm.
I had four of the Cybertruck. What is that company? Ugly little
Tesla,
Tesla.
the Tesla Cybertruck.
I
Yeah.
put them out there. They sold it almost instantly. So I was probably about 15, 20% around what market was. So they sold right away. I'm good to get rid of them. I sold those four trucks and two more cars, which I know paid for all the cars I have. So I've made my money back on that investment with 6 sales.
So
Now,
exactly how much is a Tesla Cybertruck, Matchbox, or Hot Wheels car in a package? What is that worth, and what does it sell for?
I sold them for $20 plus shipping.
Wow.
There's some people have them put out there for $70, $80, but it looked the solds. So they were around $30 to $32, $35 with shipping. So I went $20 plus shipping, ended up being around 28. So I was glad to sell the four of them quickly. I probably could have held out and got $30 a piece for them, but I'd probably be still having them a month from now, 6 months from now. And my deal is I want to sell as much as I can fairly quickly.
You don't want to miss your window either, because
Yeah.
right now that's a hot item.
Yeah.
Everybody either loves that vehicle or hates it.
Yeah.
I think personally it's the ugliest vehicle I've ever seen in my life. But as far as trucks go, I don't know that it's actually a truck, but as far as electric vehicles go, it's probably one of the best on the market, just from looking at it from an auto standpoint.
Yeah. So
Now, so you could have missed your window like I did on what's his name, Mister Flaunt Boy, Mister Pallet Astronaut Boy thingy.
yeah,
Yeah.
which
By the way, I still got the whole box. If somebody wants to make me an offer on the whole
you
stinking
need to
box,
shop Commons and open an account and sell the whole box on there.
that's probably what I need to do.
I applied there. I found some stuff. I've got a bunch of rollerblade wheels. I've got some hats that I got lots of. So I signed up, and I haven't done anything. I signed up last week, so I got a few things I'm going to put on there, hopefully, and sell to someone else. So for the week, I hit around $900. Now, because it was cheaper items, my profit wasn't as good. So I ended up
But
making
$900 is still good.
yeah, I sold $900. I netted after I take out all my costs and everything about $430.
Mm.
So my goal is to make at least $10 an item. So I had less than that. So 430 divided by the 46. So I put in my pocket $9.34 per item.
Still not terrible, ladies and gentlemen.
No,
And to
I moved.
basically say that you made $9 and some change on per item, I
Yeah,
mean,
profit.
gross wise, basically, that's incredible, because
Yeah.
you do have to take out your fees and your sourcing costs and all that. So
Yeah, and that's what that all out. So and I bumped up my number to 10% this week. So I decided to try 10% for my fee. What is that?
Promotion fee.
Yeah, general promotion fee. But only about, I think only 20 of the 46 were actually sold for promotions. The other one were just bought. So I think it definitely helped. It was rolling
Yeah, you'll
along. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was good. Thursday, Friday, Saturday were crap. I'd made most of my money at the beginning of the week. The hurricane came through and they shut down the post office here and everything that was going on. And my views, my went from, I was getting 200,000 impressions.
impressions.
Yeah, so my
Yeah.
impression, marketing, advertising, I was hitting like 200,000 with the promoted impressions, and then it just dropped off. Today, yesterday, I had 72,000. So it's really dropped down. I was flying, and I think I was getting more and more promoted impressions, and then I feel, and I don't know that to be a fact, but I feel like that eBay, because of the hurricane, suppressed my items.
Oh, we know they do because the same thing happened to me. I'm on the East Coast, and my it's interesting. My post offices were still open, but because of the devastation that we've experienced in the state, and they do. I don't know. They just do it weird. They don't do it right because you can be in the state of Florida, you can be in the state of Georgia, you can be in the state of South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. You can be away miles away from the hurricane, miles away from any storm, miles away from anything. We're talking hundreds of miles because these states, you guys know, states are not a small entity,
Yeah,
except maybe for Rhode Island.
Delaware, the first, the best state.
It's anyway. We won't get into that. You can be in one of those states, and they still lower your promotion amount. Because I watched the same thing happen to me. Now it hit me Thursday. It hit Ben's like Wednesday. Started hitting him Wednesday, and then Thursday it hit him hard. It was like they were already tapering down because they knew it was going to hit Florida. And even though it went by him, his post office was closed. Okay, we get that. But me, it didn't hit me until Thursday night, Thursday afternoon. All of a sudden, I started watching my impressions just completely go in the toilet. I usually have around 100 because I promote everything. I do well promoting everything. I lose a lot of profit. I understand. We can talk about promotion. Now, I don't go above 10%. I just don't do it. But I'll have some things at 3, 5. It depends on how much I'm selling it for, and 10%. And I usually have around 100,000 to 150,000 impressions per day. And literally, we looked on, what was it, Saturday, Benz, we were looking at on Friday? Maybe
Friday.
Friday night we were looking at, we were talking, and mine had dropped down to 2,673. I was like, holy crap. So yes, that's one thing we learned this week, and we had suspected it before. At least I had suspected it when we had the last big storm that came through North Carolina just a few weeks ago. And I was telling Benz about it, and he's like, oh, maybe it makes sense. Now we know for a fact that if you're affected by a storm or some other natural disaster in the same state you're in or the same general area, eBay is they're going to lower your promotion. You can be promoted and paying for it all you want, but they're not going to push you out there. And they say when you start digging into it and you look at articles written about it, the only response eBay has ever made about it is that they don't want to be unfair to you because if you sell something and your post office is closed for 3 to 7 days, which it could, then you're going to get smacked with bad feedback. You're going to get
Mm-hmm.
smacked with bad eBay points. So they're doing it. They say they're doing it to try to protect us, but let's face it, what they're really trying to do is do it so that sellers continue to get what they want when they want it. And of course, unless you've got the Hope Diamond and you're trying to sell it on eBay, which would be crazy, very few items are one-off items.
Yeah,
And so there's other sellers selling the same stuff we are. It is what it is. He still did well. You still did well with
I had a good
$100.
week. I was hoping to break that 1,000 mark, and I should have. But you know what? I'm not complaining. I had a good week. Put $430 in my pocket.
Tell us a little bit about how it's because you've been doing what? This
Third
is
week.
beginning of your fourth week, isn't it? Or is this the
Yeah, well,
beginning of your
beginning
third
of
week?
fourth week, but yeah. So we had through 3 weeks now. I've been listing. I was listing 100 a day. I did that for my first week. I did okay. My second week, I listed 100 a day every day. Ended up doing 503. This week, I have listed 408 items, but I'm only putting out 25 a day, and then putting the rest as for the following days. So I have it set up now, and I've scheduled them for 25 a day. I'm out to the middle of next week, and I'll continue to do that. Hopefully, I'll be getting a job here. I got a couple interviews this week, so we'll see what happens there. But I want to make sure before I have a job that I have myself out 25 a day, and I want to, even after I get my job, continue that 25 a day, and to get myself to 5,000 items. I sold 46 items this week. They were all lower dollar stuff because I listed a bunch of cars that were $5 to $20. Sold a lot of the ones that were $3.95. I sold a lot of small, low end stuff this week, but it I have nothing in it at this point. So you sell something for $3.95 plus the shipping, then your fees and everything. You end up putting maybe $2 in your pocket, but it's one less thing in the garage, right? So I'm good with that. I did buy boxes from Amazon for the because if you there's a video out there on how to make your own box so you can ship Matchbox. Yeah, you do that about 6 times. You're like, so I pay an extra. I pay 52 cents a box instead of make a box for 14. Yeah, the timing it takes you to make that box.
I was going to say,
Go ahead.
if you are selling, because let's face it, Monday through Friday, 5 days, 46 items. That's 9 items you're boxing a day, plus doing your shipping. So it's definitely a full time thing going on because you're doing taking your pictures, writing your ads, and packing and shipping, saving 30 to 40 cents a box.
This is insane. Cutting these boxes, taking one box, making it into two boxes that I can ship. It works perfectly well. And if you're going to sell one car, okay, let's do it. And I only had a few. I had 5 before, but now I've got 350 Matchbox cars, and that's a lot of boxes to make if I end up selling them all. But I went ahead and ordered the boxes from Amazon, a 5 by 7 by 2 inch box that'll work perfect for it. And then I got the boxes in today, which I was excited, waiting for the boxes to show up. And they sent me 3 by 5, 3 by 7. So the Matchbox cars won't even fit in them. So the 7 that I've sold that I still need to ship, I'm going to have to either ship them in a
You
big
are
box
going to have to
and just spend the whole
you have
money
to
on the
do
big
something
box.
different.
Yeah, so I'll come up with that. But
And that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. I buy boxes too. It makes more. I did a long time, and on certain things like paintings, artwork, I will still make a box because you have more control over the box and how you do it. And a lot of your paintings are weird sizes,
yeah,
so it's better to make a box to fit it than to try to buy one and it be 6 inches too long here or whatever. It's just crazy. But I buy boxes too to ship stuff in. I've got boxes and over there. I buy envelopes. It just depends on what it is. Now I am getting away from most of the priority stuff because it just seems like nobody buys anything priority mail anymore, except maybe international. So, and all my artwork now goes UPS, not USPS. I refuse to ship any artwork USPS. I just they don't take care of it like UPS does. Plus UPS, when it's a painting or an artwork or anything that's over 20 inches,
yeah, it gets crazy.
if it's over 20 inches and it's over 6 inches, it's 6 inches thick, you're better off. Anything over 4 inches thick and over 20 inches, you are just better off going UPS anyway. Maybe FedEx. I don't know. We don't really have a FedEx
I
way
don't
of
have good.
shipping
I've only
FedEx.
done FedEx a few times, and it was a problem. And I don't have one near me. There's a lot of reasons why I don't use FedEx.
That's the reason I don't.
Yeah,
Not because of problems, just because I don't have one anywhere near me. It's crazy. I can go to the Up store. There's one here near my house. There's one near my work. I can go to the post office. Of course, I've got 3 near me where I live, and one just down the street from where I work. So both of those are convenient. So I don't even offer FedEx. Plus, every time I look, FedEx is generally more expensive. So why would I drive something to ship it more expensive? I don't
yeah.
know.
I think FedEx is. I heard on the podcast that FedEx is doing something with a more single price box that I might look into, where you can get heavy stuff in a box cheaper through FedEx. But I just heard something about that and haven't looked into it any. So I don't know why I brought it up because it's a waste of your time. But FedEx may have a good deal, but they may not. There you go. That's the hot tip of the week.
I think the only reason I would consider using FedEx, and I have thought about it, I've thought about it because FedEx actually has a thing I was looking at. This is a good time for us to talk about shipping. We'll talk about it here. Things we've learned this week. We talked about the throttling down of your account during
Yeah.
natural disasters or storms. Let's talk about shipping. There's a lot going on eBay with shipping. A lot that didn't have anything to do with eBay, but affected eBay with the FedEx and Post U.S. Postal Service split from each other. Not that they were joined, but they worked and they had a, what would we call it, Ben's? A contractual agreement.
Yeah.
And they worked very well. FedEx Smart Post used the post office a lot, and the post office used FedEx. In fact, the Ground Advantage from USPS actually shipped through FedEx when it got delivered to FedEx hubs. But FedEx right now has this thing, and I've not done a whole lot of research on it, so don't hold me on how much it costs or anything like that. But supposedly, when you go to ship something and you go into FedEx, once you do your FedEx label on eBay, you can actually go into FedEx and just like UPS and USPS, you can schedule a pickup. But for supposedly FedEx will allow you to schedule in three different sections. US Postal Service, they'll let you schedule a pickup, but it's only at the time when your mail is delivered unless you want to pay extra for it. UPS UPS only does pickups either in the morning or the afternoon on their way back in. So there's no midday pickup really. And what I've heard is that FedEx will also do morning, midday, or afternoon, which if you're utilizing same day shipping or next day get it in the mail to your customers, which Ben's is doing. I think Ben's, you're doing the 1 day turnaround,
I'm
aren't you?
doing 1 day. I'm not doing the same day, but 1 day's
Yeah.
work.
So if you're doing 1 day or same day, and you're doing a lot of packages, that may be worth it. If Ben's keeps on shipping 46 or up, and his goal is to do 100 a week. If
Yep.
he gets doing 100 a week, he may actually want to do scheduled pickups. Just here you go, come get it
And
to
the
my
post
house. I don't
office
want
will come out and do a scheduled pickup, but you have to have at least one priority. So I was looking at that because I talked to the postal guy, and he's like, I'm showing up there with 19 packages and 20 packages. He's pick these up if you have one priority. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I didn't have any priority. He says, but it might be worth it to. It's cost $22 to get a pickup if you don't have a priority, but if you do have a priority, it's free. So if you have one package that you could send in a 9.95 poly mailer bag, even if it costs you an extra dollar or two, then you wouldn't have to drive to the post office. It's an idea.
to. Right. It is an idea, and it depends on its convenience. But
Yeah,
like I said, I've considered using FedEx. If I ever got to where I was shipping as much as you are, I may consider doing the FedEx pickup. I do think that FedEx works really well for. Ben's and I've talked about and joked around about someday having an eBay warehouse like some of the bigger
yeah.
resellers who they actually are paying people to do their listings, do their whatever. They're doing the thing they prefer to do, which a lot of us prefer sourcing. So they're outsourcing and they've got people in a warehouse setting who are listing, packaging, shipping, all that stuff. And FedEx works really the best from what I've heard if you've got a warehouse and you want it picked up. But I don't
I
know.
don't
We're
know.
not
I had
regional.
at my last business, in my last three businesses, we had all three. All of them will come every day as long as you have packages and pick up. Either one will work. But whatever you're into.
I
Okay.
can say
Well,
this. Hang on one thing. I can say this. Talking about shipping, if you're not offering some type of shipping discount, and you added in the price a little bit when it first came about, it was not. It was cutthroat. Now you'll see that items are a little bit more expensive than, and they've not really gone up that rate. You can say inflation, but that's not really the case on some of the items. They've gone up because of the shipping discount. But if you're not offering a shipping discount, at least 10, 15, 20%, you need to look into it and how you can still compensate yourself because Ben's and I both offer that, and we found out that our item shipping and our item selling increased dramatically by doing that. For some reason, people don't want to pay a whole lot in shipping. Of course, we did see that one. What was it we showed on Picker Pass the last episode 80, where that one guy was sold for $1, but it had $8 shipping, and it should have been like it was something crazy like that. So some people are trying to go back to the old way of eBay of here's an item for $1, but it's $20 shipping.
that's crazy.
That ain't it ain't gonna work anymore, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not. But you can try it and see. I'm not gonna do it. I don't think it'll work. All right. So what are we to now? What are we to? We talked about our week. We talked about what we've learned. And we haven't talked about our favorite seller. We always end on news. We haven't talked about our favorites, our favorite buyer, not favorite seller, but
Favorite
favorite
buyer.
buyer,
We have
favorite
a couple
buyer
things
of
this
the week.
week too. We have some comments on our YouTube.
Oh, really?
We got a comment from Grams and Pops Vintage, and it said, "First time watching, fun show, great guest, subscribe." So thank you for subscribing.
Abs-
The gentleman on the Pops, he's on one of the podcasts I listen to. I can't think of the name of it, but I do enjoy his podcast. So I'm glad he finally found ours. That's cool.
Thanks, man.
Um,
Awesome. And it was nice having Alex on with us.
yeah,
I
we
learned
got a
a
lot of
lot
good.
about things I didn't know about. And see, that's why it's good to watch other podcasts, but it's also good to mingle with other resellers because I had no idea there was some of these resources out here that he mentioned. So you might want to go back and watch episode 79. And of course, it was great having Mike on the time. I'm still waiting for Mike to come back on.
He was on
Um,
69. We
Lays,
10th
I
one. We're
will
gonna get one. So at 99, we'll probably have another guest.
99. We will
89.
probably, yeah, 89. Now
But
it is interesting. I've been kind of has anybody got a hold of Alex? Because with a hurricane, I don't know how he's doing.
I think he's fine.
Uh,
He replied a day ago to that comment, so he's on social media. He also thanked us for being on the show, and then his wife came in behind him and said she came for the handsome bearded guy. I'm assuming she means her husband,
Thanks.
but she said, "I totally know that you were waiting until the last minute for me to do your tax prep. That's why I think I can steal your good fantasy books, the ones you're planning on selling. It's only fair." So
It is only
it is
fair.
fair.
You got to pay for everything. Even
Yeah,
if your wife does it, you got to pay
yeah.
for it. I pay for mine by letting her have the checkbook. She just has the checkbook completely. I don't even have it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Well, that
all right,
worked out. So
sweet.
we had some good comments this week. Those are our
Yeah,
comments of the week.
awesome.
Your seller of the week or your buyer of the week? Do you have a buyer?
Let me go look at my orders. I
You
do have a
brought it up
buyer.
and you're not even ready.
Well, I mean,
All right, my
I've
buyer
got
of the
so
week.
many good ones.
My buyer of the week. He bought Edelbrock 4403 valve cover breather, and it's just a little thing that goes over the valve cover part. And again, it got shipped to a random place, and the guy sent me a note. He said, "Hey man, this is in Kalamazoo. I don't know where it was." And then I said, "Hey, sometimes they misship it." I said, "Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on it." And I apologized, even though it was only a $7 sale. And then I kept it. I kept checking the tracking when it got back to his area. I said, "Hey, it's in your area. It should be there in the next day or two." And then he sent me a good pack, new in package, great packaging. The seller was excellent, and the communication was great. You know what? That could have went really wrong. So both of the people I've had problems with shipping, as long as you communicate with them and say, "Hey man, I know that USPS sometimes they missort things or whatever," but just keep up a dialogue with them. And I got good
Hmm.
feedback. So did I say his name? I didn't, did I?
No, you don't say his name. Make sure you say his handle
That's what I mean. It's usually
or IGN or
yeah. He's
depending
via one time fit.
one
So
time
one
fit.
time fit.
So if you have somebody who makes you an offer, ladies and gentlemen, or
Yeah.
shows up in your thing one time fit, you definitely know that's a quality buyer that's gonna. And you can look at buyer feedback as well. But we like to talk about. It's funny that Alex mentioned it our last show. He's like, "Wow, you guys are real positive here. I like this. We do to do our buyers of the week. Mine is Mal's Svenden. I guess it's Malsevden. And that's Malsevden. And left me great feedback. The item was precisely described and clear photos prior to the sale confirmed. So confirmed it. So communication with this seller was exceptional. This is a seller who takes customer service seriously. I'll be back. And that makes me feel good, ladies and gentlemen, because and he bought a particular thing from me, and I contacted him and I was like, I sent my normal stuff, and then I've also started where I will interact if it's a special item. I'll be like, "What made you purchase this?" Whatever. This guy was like, you had exactly what I needed at exactly the right price," and that's why you need to be fair to people on pricing, ladies and gentlemen. But this guy, we communicate very well, and again, Mike. I'm still keeping up with sending out my notices on don't send out a tag. I got one here from something I bought on eBay. And I know Ben's does this a lot. Mike does it. I don't know if Alex does it. We didn't really ask. I think he said he little notes like this, little thank you notes. I don't send those with the packaging. I probably should, but I make sure that when I get an item bought, I send them a message that says when it's going to ship. Then when it ships, I let them know and I make sure that they know the tracking has been provided. They can go check it through eBay because I do everything shipped through eBay. And then I will send them a message again about halfway through because I'm checking on where it's at delivery. So I want to be somewhere around halfway through, depending upon the day that it says it's going to be delivered. And then I've got a third message after it delivers that I send. And I'll read the last one. And I probably read it before, but it says, "Thanks so much for your previous purchase. By now, your purchase has arrived, and we hope you are enjoying it. It is our hope that you found our customer service to be top notch. Let us know if there's anything we could have done better. Stop by, and I've got my store and check out our new inventory. If you've not had a chance to leave feedback on your experience, then as always, positive feedback is much appreciated. If for some reason you cannot leave us positive feedback, then please let us know how we could rectify the situation. Again, many thanks and follow us for more items as we have more listed regularly." So that's just a little thing I've typed out over here on Word and I just copy and paste it in the new message system. So, yeah, it's great to hear that my effort for doing that because it does take a few extra minutes to go click contact buyer and keep up with that on a daily basis. But it's great to know that. And hey, I'm up to 54 now. So
Nice.
I had stopped doing it. I had a bunch of sales and I didn't get any feedback. And I was real bummed. And Mike came on an episode, you said 69.
Yep.
And he was like, "You really need to start doing that again." So I started doing it again. And it was because, like, literally in just a few weeks, I have gone from right around 40 to over 54. And I even got my new colored star at 50. So it's an awesome thing to be excited about. And it's great to get great feedback, real authentic feedback, not just A plus eBayer, which I need to go in and program mine to give some different ones as well, rather than just the standard stock ones.
Teach your wife. That's how I get really good ones. She gets really into it. That's nice.
I'm going to teach my wife how to take freaking pictures.
No, yeah. I'm just saying she can do that on her phone while she's watching TV. So the podcast is the Reseller Clickbait Podcast is the podcast that Corey from Grandpa's Vintage and SK Promo is Ken. Those two guys that do a podcast that I listen to every week. This week was
Awesome.
the Equinox show. They did a live, but I didn't go to the live because I always plan to go to lives. Then I get sidetracked. This week was eBay Open. I had signed up to go to the local meetup, and for some reason I got in my mind it was the 25th. And on the 25th, I went and looked it up. So what time I got to be there? It was the 24th. So I was a day late. So that would have been good to report on, but I didn't go. So that's
Would have
what I can
been.
report is I'm a schmuck. There you go. That's what I am.
Nah, things happen, and since you're a full time eBay reseller
I
now,
know I'm so busy. I'm
it's
so busy.
it's a little hard to keep up with. We got your pool schedule to take a dip in the pool
Get
at
up,
9
have your
o'clock,
coffee, swim in the pool, and then come in.
and
Uh,
he wants to go back to work, ladies and gentlemen. I don't understand this. He's like, "I want to go back to work," and I'm like, "You get up, you drink your coffee, you get in the pool." Somewhere around 11 o'clock ish,
that's
you
not
wander
true.
into your eBay room, and then you go, "Oh wait, I've listed 2 items. I need a sandwich."
I got
And
to cook the wife lunch, stuff like that. It's been fun. Today, I tore my finger all up. Right, that one. I
yeah,
got a blister on it,
make
which I
sure
had
you
to put
don't show it the right way now. Don't show.
now. I made potato tacos, right? Where you take potatoes, I put jalapenos and cheese and a little bit of carnitas in there, made like a mesh, and then put it in and then deep fry the potato taco in the oil, and went and it popped up, and I have a blister that's like this whole finger. It was all big and crazy. I had to pop.
Well,
It's
at least it's not a
dangerous
paper
being
cut.
a part-time cook and full-time reseller.
I thought he was going to show us a paper cut, ladies and gentlemen. Like, oh, I got a move paper cut on my finger from a box. I
No,
thought that's
hey
what
man,
he's
I've been
showing
listening to
us
so
in a
much
minute.
stuff, and I've run out of room. So now I got in the front closet. Shh, don't tell the wife. I've got 18 boxes. No, so there's 4 high, 5 wide, 20 boxes. Inevitably, whatever you said, it's box 01 through box 20. And inevitably, you're going to sell something out of this box today that's on the
And
bottom.
something out of the
You're going to move all
bottom
that
box.
stuff out of the way and put it all back and then put that box on the top because that's the lucky box. It's not the lucky box. The next day. So I've been doing
Oh,
those, and they're weighing 60 pounds a piece. I'm like,
he's
God,
been exercising,
oh
ladies and
yeah, I
gentlemen.
feel.
He's been exercising.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the Marines now. I'm just saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
The few, the proud, the boxes. Isn't that how it goes?
hey, I'll tell you what. Y'all go ahead and comment if you think Ben's
No,
right. Either one are ready for the Marines. I think I had a woman today say
I
your
was when
beard's
I was
turning gray.
19, but then I got out of it because my mommy got me out of it. So it's fine.
I had a lady look at me today and she goes, "Your beard is turning gray." I'm like, "Yeah, it's been doing that for a while." But yeah, so I always love the shot here though because my hair looks brown instead of gray, whereas other shots they show how much gray is actually in it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got way off the topic of reselling. But yeah, full time reseller, and he's I need a job.
Yeah. First
But
off, I don't think I'm good. I'm not ready to stay home all the time because I wouldn't do the postal pickups because I just go out and then I'll just go to the grocery store and walk around and talk to people because I'm lonely, right? I'm lonely. Yeah. Luckily, I live in a retirement community where everybody wants to talk all the time. I can waste 3 hours in the grocery store. Oh yeah, where are you from? Where you been? Oh, yeah. And I purposely wear like Philadelphia shirts. I got some Pittsburgh shirts. I got some California shirts. I wear the one because inevitably you're gonna run into somebody from there that wants to tell you about. Oh yeah, I grew up and you a Philly fan. Oh yeah, I was born in Reading. Oh Reading, it's great. And they got really good rolls for some reason at this one grocery store. 99 cents for two rolls. Which you tell me if this makes sense. They got the same rolls, 99 cents for two rolls if you get them individually. But if you buy them pre-bagged, 6 rolls is 330. You're paying 39 more cents for the bag, and they give you a bag to put the rolls in, and you can mix them up, and get different flavors. I just think it's crazy.
he has been living in a retirement community, ladies and gentlemen.
It has.
Anyway, so let's go on and transition. We've been running our trap here for a little over 40 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. But let's talk about eBay news. Because do we have any news for them this evening? I know I sprung a little bit on you early, saying, "Hey, let's go ahead and do it a little early."
I know. Threw
Uh,
me off. I have a system. I have a system. I have a system. I'm a very systematic fella.
he didn't
But
even
I do
have
have a
his
few news
drink made,
stories
ladies
for
and
you,
gentlemen.
all about eBay. First one is during eBay Open, CEO Jamie Lanno Lanwan
I don't know.
announced new measures to target non-paying buyers and introduced a best offer experience that will require U.S. buyers to provide payment info before making offers. How long have we been asking for that?
And they've said they're going to do it, and they'll do it a little bit, then they won't, and then they'll do it. So it sounds to me like they've
Well,
actually done
eBay
that.
Open, I guess he wanted to sound like he was doing the right thing for us, right? He emphasized efforts to modernize the shopping experience, make it easier for buyers to find listings without extra advertising fees. Additionally, eBay is rolling out its redesigned search experience, featuring larger images and simplifying the navigation menu.
Well, that would be great. Can I get rid of AI? It was better before AI became a part of it.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? He's making bigger images, so I think they're going to their
Oh,
they're going with their demographic, right? Yeah,
bigger images of the wrong thing doesn't help
exactly.
me at all.
The sad thing was announced this week too. Okay, that's one. Any questions on that? No. Okay, we're moving the frick on. All right. Yeah.
He's a
So it
little
was announced
sassy
this
tonight.
week that the eBay for Business podcast is going to be no more. The final episode will be on September 24th, 2024.
Really?
The decision was not formally announced by eBay, but it was announced by its co-host Jim Griff. Griff, he's the guy before it was a podcast, it was a radio show. He's been doing it forever. But they're going to no longer have a podcast. Many expressed disappointment over the abrupt news and the closure. Sellers noted that the
Wow.
podcast was an excellent learning tool. There is
That's
another
true.
show that they do that highlights sellers that'll continue, but the eBay for Business podcast is done as of September 24th,
Wow.
2024.
So it's as
Last
of the
week's episode.
recording of this podcast,
Yeah.
it's done.
So I don't know.
Wow.
Well,
So
I don't
is
know
he
if you ever listened
retiring?
to that. It's one of those things I have on my rotation that I listen to every week. So
I guess he's retiring. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, I think so. I think 2 years ago he moved to Palm Springs in California, and he was doing it from there. And so he's still been doing it for 2 years out of his house. So I think he finally decided to shut it down. I know the other host that was the co-host left like a year ago, and they've been filling in with other people. But I think they've just decided to move on.
That's going to be sad for the eBay community, but
You know what? If they're looking for a podcast, we're going to fill the gap. So that's what I'm hoping. We're
time.
here. If you were, I'll get that out there to your friends that were listening to the
That's
eBay
right.
podcast. That if they need a podcast to fill an hour of their week, hey, how y'all doing?
How you doing?
How you doing?
It is going to be a sad. It's always sad when something like that a long time goes away, but I don't know. There is a lot of podcasts
Yeah,
now. Whereas when that started on the radio, there was nothing, and now there's a lot of podcasts. We talk about different aspects of things to
yeah.
do. The resellers that you and I watch their podcasts and their vlogs, they talk about a lot of things. So there's a lot out there to fill that gap, and maybe they just didn't need anymore. Times change, things happen. We'll miss it, but we can move on from it. All right, next. What's next? You got any other eBay news for us, or first time's a
eBay
charm?
has a new senior vice president, legal officer slash general counsel, Samantha Wellington. She'll be replacing Marie O'Herber, who left there in June after 9 years. She's going to join the company October 7th, 2024. So they will have a new legal counsel. That's weird that they changed their whole legal thing after they got through all the stuff they were going through, but it makes sense. Let's try somebody new. Maybe we won't get sued so damn much. Um, so
Either
she'll
that
be,
or they didn't like the results that the
yeah,
other person.
that's probably what it is. She didn't win the case, so it's time to move on.
The coaches who
Yep.
lose, fire lawyers who don't win. I mean, yeah.
So she'll be handling global legal department, handling government relations, intellectual property, employment. She's got a really good resume
Okay.
that's on here. I don't think we need to read all that, but she's joining them from TriNet, where she was the chief legal officer. She previously worked at Oracle and other.
Isn't it? Does anybody find that interesting? When I was growing up, there was the CEO, the chief executive officer.
Mhm.
Then it made sense in the 90s. We started hearing there's a C. That person is a CEO, and that person is a CFO, chief
Mhm.
financial officer. Now, just recently in the last decade, we have a COO, chief operations officer, and now I hear we have a chief legal officer. Isn't
CLO.
it interesting? Isn't it
A lot of
interesting how
chiefs.
we're getting all these chiefs and we're getting less and less Indians and more chiefs? Does anybody else find that interesting? I
There's
will
still
say this.
plenty of Indians, but they're just taking more of the Indians'
I
wampum
don't
and
know.
passing it up to the leaders.
I think they got rid of a lot of Indians in Ithaca, New York that they needed to keep
Yeah,
because I recently had that shipping experience where it had to go into Canada through Ithaca, New York's international depot. They only handle Canada. And
yeah,
I'm shipping to a guy in British Columbia. And it took, thank God, he's a great buyer. He could have been buyer of the week, but he bought the thing 2 weeks ago. In fact, he was my buyer of the week, I think, 2 weeks ago.
yeah.
But he finally got it. And it's just crazy. It should have gone, if it had gone to the Chicago, they would have done a better job of tracking it because everything that goes international to Europe or Asia that I've shipped, I've known when it landed, where it landed at, what time, and where it was headed every time. With this one through Ithaca, and I questioned that. I actually sent a message over to eBay about it, and they were like, because they asked me to do a survey. I did the survey. The response I got back was because I really slammed Ithaca compared to Chicago, which they told me that they didn't think they needed as much staff in Ithaca anymore since it's only assigned to Canada. I'm like, well, maybe you either need more staff so it does like it's supposed to, or you just need to close the whole thing. And sorry, people in Ithaca, New York that work for eBay, but either close it and move it all to Chicago or do
Yeah.
something.
Get it right.
But yeah, get it right. I hate to see one aspect of a company really doing really well and another aspect, and it be the same category. We're
Yeah.
talking about eBay international shipping here. It's not like we're talking about, their website versus their shipping. No, we're talking about shipping versus shipping, and we're talking about international. And yet, it's crazy. But anyways, maybe the CLO, getting back to that article, the last one didn't win, so they canned them. Maybe the new one will be a lot better. I don't know how that affects us.
I don't think it does unless you're going to sue
But
'em. So if you're planning on soon, you
Yeah.
probably should have done it the last schmuck.
Well, it's
Just saying.
interesting though. How many loggers do you think they actually have? Because
This is the chief
it
lawyer.
sounds,
I mean,
but
yeah,
it sounds to
there'll
me
be a
like
lot of them.
if she's handling all that and she's got her hands in all that, then it sounds to me like they probably don't have that many really, which is a good sign for eBay. Because when I see a company that's got more than
More lawyers than employees.
more lawyers than any other department, and I won't name several of the companies I know, but when I look at a company, I go, "Good Lord, your biggest department is attorneys, and your second biggest department by a third is accounts payable and receivable." Come on, oh, that just tells you they're looking to get sued. I think that bodes well. She's over all that. We'll see how she does.
Yeah.
eBay will fire her if she
Oh,
don't.
Lord. And I had one more that was just interesting that
Okay?
we talked about the board of directors for eBay before. And eBay appointed Bill Nash, the CEO of CarMax, to its board of directors, increasing the total number of directors to 11. Nash brings extensive experience in retail e-commerce technology, which will help benefit its growing strategy, particularly in its parts and accessories category. So Nash has
So that's
led
good news.
CarMax for since 2016, where he became the CEO, and he had held various other roles with that company since 1997.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
So
Always good to get a experienced board of director with a company you work with.
yes, yeah, he's busy being the CEO, so that's a jump on there. Okay, so we talked about eBay news. We talked about what we learned. Talked about our favorite person of the week.
Talk about what
Yeah,
we did for the week. I think we've covered everything, haven't we? If you guys watching or listening want us to include another category here on our long format, we'll be glad to consider it. All you got to do is drop an email, and trust me, Ben's reads all the emails
I do.
and he reads through all the comments. So you can drop a comment or you can send an email cjbensfines@gmail.com, and he tells me about the good ones, and he tells me about the hate mail. Guy who doesn't like a 40-year-old who vapes. I'm sorry. Get a life. Anyway, not that it's any of your business, but there you go. No, we appreciate every comment, and I'm just joking with you, man. If you're still watching, we appreciate you doing. And if you've noticed, I've tried to cut back on that a little bit,
There you go.
especially as Alex said, "Hey,
You'll never get
you need to
non-monetized.
you need to cut that out because I'm not the one. Even if we were to get monetized, I'm doing this helping out my buddy, and we're in this together. We are what's it called, accountability partners on eBay. When I don't list, Ben's like, hey, where you at? And when he don't list, I'm like, hey, where you at?
Oh, we didn't do our
Uh,
best sale of the week. What was your best sale
we
this week?
didn't do our sell of the week. Yes, we didn't, did we? My best sell of the week, and this is going to really go against something you said earlier. So I'm gonna actually let's see if I can get it here. We didn't do our best sell of the week. You were saying something you sold below. What is it? You said something you sold below dollar amount. Take an offer on it. I can't remember exactly what you said, but you end up losing money and you get down to like $3.95.
Yeah.
I sold a pair of lady shorts. I had it listed for $5.99.
All right.
That's about what it was worth. And I've got on my, you guys know I'm frugal deals. So if you make me a reasonable offer, I'm going to accept it. So the lady offered me the thing, and it was like, I don't know, what is it? Let's see what it is right quick. I think it was like 16% off, maybe. Yeah, so it was like 16% off, which I was like, cool, I'll take it. So she offered me $5. So it's right around 16%. It was 503, but she offered me $5. I took the offer, got the order total at 1354, had nothing in this item whatsoever, not a single dime. Took the offer, paid all the fees, and still ended up with $6.23. So I actually ended up with more money, $1.23 more after fees and everything than what she actually offered me on the offer I took.
That's
So
good.
that don't happen every time, ladies and gentlemen, but once in a while it happens, and you're like,
Yeah, no, I
woohoo!
agree. Last week, my sale of the week was those postcards, right? Because I've already paid for them. I'm making $10 a crack plus shipping. Hey, you can't go wrong with that. I got no money in them. So this week though, I got from a yard sale a Wonder Boom 2, which is like a Bluetooth speaker that
Okay, yeah,
I paid $3 for it because it was still new in the box, and I sold it for I had it listed for 59.95, which was a good deal, but they offered me $50, and I sold it for $50 plus shipping, and ended up after
Did you
fees
carry
and
money on the
everything
shipping?
making $43 with shipping and everything.
Did you carry money on the shipping?
No, I
Or
did
just
not. I actually had undervalued it, and I guess I weighed it. You know how you weigh something, and then you forget that you're going to put it into a bigger box because the box I didn't have a box that would actually fit in, so I had to put it in a little bigger box. I put some more dunnage around it, and I went from 8 ounces to 8.4. Damn! Now I got to pay 12 ounce rate. No, actually, I had it at 12 ounces, and I ended up at 12.4. And that's the big one, right? If you can go from 8 to 12, it's not that big a deal. It might be 80 cents.
right.
But if you end up going to that next level above 12, where now it's a pound, it goes way up,
Oh, it
especially if it's
jumps.
going further away. 12 ounces, you're probably at $8 to $9 total across the US. And then once you get up to that 1 pound, you're at like $9 to 16.
Yeah.
So it was going pretty far away. It was going to California. So I ended up costing me $3 of my sale
But
because
still, you made what, $40?
I made $43 after everything was paid for, and I
Oh,
paid
yeah.
$3 for it.
That's
I
a
made
great.
$40 in my pocket.
That's more than 10 times your money.
I can't complain. Wonder
No,
Boom, if you see it, Wonder Boom 2.
I didn't know we were going for our most expensive sale of the week
That wasn't my most expensive sale of the week at all.
at all. Listen,
That one was
oh,
over $100,
bef-
but I had a lot of them that
before
were $3.95.
before we sign off,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen,
cha-ching.
I heard that he sold something. Before we sign off, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone, I want to say this: if you are selling on eBay and you have other platforms that you're selling on,
Okay,
maybe
thank you for bringing it up.
maybe you should check on your other platforms. I don't know, maybe once a week.
Yeah,
Don't let
so,
it go
right.
like 10 to 15 days before you all of a sudden discover you have sold one on.
So if you sell on Bonanza, you need to check it all the time. And I haven't sold anything on Bonanza since March 22nd. So I've pretty much ignored it and whatever. And then on Friday night when we were talking, he's like, "Hey, you selling anything?" I delisted everything on Macari because I think Macari's dead. I don't know. I need to start over there. So I took everything off Macari and I took everything off of all the other everywhere. I have a few things on Grail and a few things on Poshmark just because I can't sell them on eBay. So I'm going to leave them there if they sell. And he's, "What about Bonanza?" I'm like, I haven't checked Bonanza in a while. Yeah, I haven't checked it apparently at least since the 18th of September. So
Yeah.
10 days late, I'm like, oh, shoot, I sold a pair of Wrangler jeans. So then I went and packed them today. And lo and behold, today I sold one of those cars that
On Bonanza.
on
Yeah.
Bonanza for $60 shipped. So with shipping and everything, it was $63. Yeah. So
Ladies
Bonanza
and gentlemen,
works. I mean, it doesn't work a
our
lot. It works.
our
Like,
sign off is this.
yeah. So I
Check
probably made,
all your platforms.
yeah, check all your platforms. On Bonanza, I've made at least $300 this year. I mean, it's free. So what the heck? But pay attention because I'm sure that person who's getting those jeans a month late is not going to leave me great feedback. Thank God it's not
No.
on eBay.
You're not getting great feedback on
No.
Bonanza. Oh, wow. But yeah, as always, we appreciate each and every one of you, and we appreciate your comments, both good, bad, picking, whatever. And maybe we'll get to somebody else to come on here soon on 89. I don't know. We might have to skip one because we went. No, we did 69, 79, so we should try to find
We
somebody
should do
for
89.
89.
So we need to find somebody for 89.
So if you're a reseller listening to us, even if you're brand new and you maybe you've not even sold your first item. Are you kidding me right now? That was just two right there. Cheek cheek. That's
Let's keep
awesome.
this podcast going, people. This is the best
No,
selling I've been doing all week.
we're getting ready to sign off, ladies and gentlemen.
No, keep talking.
We'll hear about those.
We'll be here
I
for
used
3 days.
I used to
Ding,
call him. He
ding.
wouldn't sell anything all day, and I would call him,
I know.
and it was like I was his Buddha belly or
You
something
are.
because all of a sudden the chings would start going so hard. I was like, I still haven't got a ching.
The problem is you can't really compare. That'd be like saying the guy who's a homeless guy doesn't understand why Brad Pitt gets the movie deals.
Oh, now we're
Because
definitely
you got
popping.
100
Bye.
things
Leave
and,
session.
and I got 3,500 things. There's a big
Leave.
difference.
Click. Nah. Okay. What was I even going?
I don't
As
know,
you'll
man. You
check,
lost me. I got
check,
confused.
you sidetracked me, but we appreciate each and every one of you. Leave us comments. We love hearing feedback. If you're like, okay, I know where I was going. If you're a brand new reseller, maybe you haven't sold even sold an item yet, but you got your store running, drop us an email. We'll be glad to try to see if we can get you on the podcast here on our show and just talk, because we want to talk with people who are from every walk of doing it. That way, you guys get a feedback and a feel for what's going on all across ranges of where, like Ben's is 3 years in. Mike was, how many years has Mike got in? He's got a lot of
A
years in it,
lot
don't
more than us. Yeah.
he? Yeah, more than us even put together. Alex has been in it for a long time. He's a full time reseller.
And man,
Mike is
I reached out to my friend that Severe Thrifters, one of the first podcasts I really started listening to 3 years ago. Him and his son had a podcast for a year and a half. They don't do it anymore. He still sells on eBay. I reached out to him, and he's got some family things going on, but he definitely wants to be on here.
sweet.
Really good seller, a really good guy, and I really dig when they had their podcast the way it was. It was not similar to ours, but it was him and his son, and they just had a good. I think if you can find people with a good repartee,
Yeah.
dynamic, it makes it worth wasting an hour staring at those people. And actually, I don't really watch a lot of YouTube. I do listen to a lot of podcasts.
I watch all mine on YouTube. But anyway, that's awesome. We'd love to have you drop it
Yep.
in the comment. Hey, look, do us a favor though. Send us the email, because we're going to want to look at your store, a couple of things, and talk to you for a little bit, tell you what to expect, because it is a little different behind the scenes here than what's on the screen. There's a
Yeah.
certain amount of setup you got to do and everything.
Simple. I just need an email address, and then you need to make sure you have a video camera and a microphone.
Yeah, but you don't want it to be like, let's see, you don't want it to be like that. But you go back and look at the first ones we did. My video camera was horrible. Yeah. But we thank you, each and everyone listening, and those who if you just started on this, make sure you go back and watch and listen to every episode before, because there
Yeah.
is a lot of information we have covered in the last 81 episodes.
Woo! 81, shooting for 800 more. Right?
So
I want to be so old that my teeth fall out while I'm talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's how long I want to do this.
he might have to find somebody else, because eventually,
He ain't going to stop talking. But I've been talking to this dude for 20 years.
I'm going to be laying naked on a beach somewhere. That's just
You
going to
know what?
happen.
As long as we're just getting the face, we don't care what you're wearing. I don't have pants on 90% of the time in my life now because I'm working from home. I got pants on now. Maybe.
Maybe.
Just saying.
We don't know.
We don't know.
All right.
You have no idea.
we're gonna roll it up right there before it goes any further.
Thank you again for watching. Have a wonderful week.